Hello and good morning, divine, beautiful soul. Infiniti here. I hope you're doing well. It is Monday, January 6th, 2025. And welcome to your new week. I don't know about you, but I actually love Mondays. I find them to be liberating and exciting because we are liberated from the week before. Let go of that, whatever, even, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever, just let go of the past. Let's move forward. Unfortunately, I don't have much of a view today. We have this crazy fog. It's just gotten worse and worse as the morning has gone on. I don't know if you've heard about this or experienced this. It's called this mysterious fog. It's doing weird things to water. People are feeling not good. The last time that this showed up, about a week ago, same thing, super, super dense, very unnatural, and it really irritates my throat. Doesn't seem to bother my eyes, but it really bothers my throat. And it's just you're not going to hear about this I guess more mainstream has talked about it a little bit, but it is all over X. I don't know. I'm not really on any other social media except for X now. But it's all over X. People are, talking about this. It's definitely not natural. It is man-made geoengineering. And what's being talked about with this fog is that it's an inoculation, that they're dumping vaccine aerosols, and it looks like this fog. And it's this big kind of uproar, it's this big uproar about, is this what this is? Are we being inoculated environmentally through aerosols, it's like a double, it blocks the sun, which is what they want to do, and they're putting literally vaccines. It was also today I read they're talking about maybe this is how they dispersed COVID. And way back when, in 2020, early 2020, I actually channeled COVID, if you can imagine that. That was quite a shock to me. And I saw it all. I saw that it was man-made. I saw that many people were involved in it. I saw that they tested it in different places. I saw that they unleashed it through chemtrails or something like that. And so here we are, all this time later, and that's exactly what I was shown all back then. And now we have this crazy fog that is really blatantly not normal, and people are being affected by it, and it's basically worldwide and really nasty. I mean, the better part of the last 6 weeks have been blocked. So the sun has been blocked. There's only been a couple days here and there, or a couple chunks of hours or minutes in days where the sun has been able to poke through all of the shit in the air, in the atmosphere. So this is something that is really serious, and a lot of people there's legislation going through in different states to stop this, but yet there's still people who say this isn't a thing when the government's actually admitted to it, that actually we do this to combat climate change and to help with, basically that. They're going, before they said, oh no, there's no such thing. And then they're because so many people have video and pictures of the world, all over the world, going, this is not contrails. Contrails don't do this. And to a point where it was actually like 2 years ago. It was like, okay, yeah, it's us, and this is why. But it was buried. And so even though the truth came out, they still was like, okay, people can still believe that it's not true because they didn't really want to admit it to begin with. But they had to say something about it. But now they've upped the game on a whole other level. It's so intense, it's so thick that it looks like this. It looks like we've been raided. You know what I mean? Like with those raid cans. Like we're the cockroaches. It's nuts. Anyway, impossible not to discuss it, as this is what we're looking at. It was even thicker a little bit ago. I have pictures where it was like I barely could see the trees across the river. I mean, you can see them, but not well. I mean, if you see my other videos, you know just how much mountain and trees is beyond this first layer here at the river's edge. It is so dense. It is so incredibly crazy dense. But anyway, we're here for messages for today from our beautiful divine counterparts. I am going to be I'm going to be getting messages from the cards for the Dreams of Gaia. The Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which is really more like an oracle, especially the major arcana. And I just might spend some time, just like I did with my angel tarot, and pull out the major arcana from the other. I don't know. It's just, I was really surprised when I was guided to this today, because there's a lot that like with some of these I had a card that flipped. I'm just not sure. No, I'm going to put it back. I'm still shuffling. There's just a lot in each description, especially for the major arcana cards, but it's all really good. It's just can be really long. And I'm basically always guided to read from the descriptions. I think I'll be doing more readings where I'm just letting things kind of intuitively come to me with the cards, with the oracle cards. But for the most part, when I do readings, I'm guided to read from the description, so everybody knows exactly what the original and general intent is of the card. Oh, there we go. Got a card. The Child. Wow, is this? It just fell out. This is the second time that I've gotten the Child, that I pulled the Child. One for me personally, with the, I'm spacing out on what deck that was. Okay, I can see it, but it's not connecting. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's the second time that I pulled the Child in 2 days. Here we go. Check it out. Oh, there's a hummingbird. I just had this whole thing with a hummingbird the other day. I was talking to Laura actually when it happened. Dragons, roses, beautiful purple lilac, a daisy and a hummingbird. We got a portal floating on the pedestal. Card number 1, the Child. Wow. Otherwise known as the Fool. So she's done her own thing with this deck. It's really, choice number 0 is the Fool. Yeah, she's done her own thing with this. She has cards that aren't like, okay, here's one of the cards in the Major Arcana. Thought. Wisdom is another one. The Child, that's not, you know, a card in the regular traditional tarot. So she's done her whole thing here totally differently. She talks about that in the book. And I love it. I love this deck. I love the art. She does the art. It's all her, 100%. And, I really do want to work with it more. It's just, it can be time consuming is the thing. But anyway, so here we have, I was going to tell you about the hummingbird thing. So I have, check it out. I will show you. I have this gorgeous, taking out some stuff here. I have this gorgeous, stained glass hummingbird. It's connected to this star, and I've had them together for a long time. So I was talking to Laura, and I had just like touched it and you know, it was kind of mindless. I just was like, oh wow, look at that, you know, like, oh, so pretty. Like, I just like it. And then I walked into the kitchen, turned around, walked into the kitchen, where I looked out the window, and you see those lights. Those are Christmas lights. And I stood right here. Let me show you. It's kind of hard to see because it's bright, but. And, you know, there's the lights. I stood right here, and I saw a hummingbird come and go from light to light to light to light, like to the different colors. Like, right, I don't remember the pattern, but it went like in 5 different stops along the lights and then flew away. And I was like, I just saw a hummingbird go up to lights in the beginning of January in Northern California. And on top of that, I just was playing with my hummingbird. And Laura was like, what? That's nuts. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It was wild. It was really, really wild. Anyway, so it's just a couple of synchronicities here. Number 1 is, this is the second time in a day, in 24 hours, I got the Child. I'm just spacing on what deck that was. It was a digital deck, so it wasn't like I, you know, pulled it with my hands. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's going to come to me. I'm going to feel really silly. Oh, it was the mystical shaman oracle. I'm like, I can see the picture. I'm like, why isn't it coming to me? It was the mystical shaman oracle. Yeah. It was a past, present, future with the mystical shaman oracle. And the Child was the past card. So, here we are again with the Child. Okay, it's okay. Hey. Okay. Cha-cha. Hey, you need to stop. You need to stop. It was the cats. You guys stop. Stop. What's going on? What is going on? was a cat situation. I don't obviously know what happened. I have a lot of cats. They don't all get along. They're all in one room. And it was just this big, I don't know if the video picked up on it, but you know, this is life. It's okay, Chacho. The dogs heard it and jumped up. Obviously, you heard Chacho barking like crazy. But I went in there and cats were in certain positions, and I really need to be able to let them outside. I just worked on the netting for the deck yesterday afternoon. I can only get so far. I need more netting. I ordered it. It'll be here on Thursday. But I can do it to a certain degree where I could be like out there with them, and you know, they're not gonna, like, it's enough. But yeah, they definitely need the outside more than just the windows open. But actually, I was just like, well, today I wouldn't let them out anyway because the air is like so gnarly. Like, yeah. Okay. Well, we didn't even get started, so I'm glad that happened in the beginning. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Okay, you guys, I need you to sit down, please. So the child, keywords: new beginnings, innocence, magic, divine love, trust, hope, forgiveness, awareness, potential, anticipation, dependency. Key phrases: a new beginning, see your potential, heal emotional and psychological wounds, time to play and laugh, acknowledge your successes, delight in the moment, believe in magic, laughter heals, turn dreams into reality, forgive the past, reconnect with innocent pleasures, put doubt aside. Meaning, the child stands confident, taking innocent joy and delight in her connection with the world in which she dwells. She is untouched by fear and full of hope and trust. Despite any hardship, struggle, and harm she has faced, she continues to see only beauty through eyes bright and with wonder. She sees the good in all. She is both magic and magical, an innocent soul who believes in happily ever after. I love that. Okay, past, the past. In many ways, the child illustrated in the card's artwork is representative. Gosh. In many ways, the child illustrated in the card's artwork is representative of a time in childhood to which many of us wish we could return. She represents a time when we laughed with ease, wore our hearts on our sleeves, and were willing to take life and the people we met on face value. She conjures up a world where we could trust others and we're free from cynicism and skepticism. The child in us is pure of heart, light of step, and free from the inner voice that criticizes and condemns. The child in us is pure of heart, light of step, and free from the inner voice that criticizes and condemns. And that's the inner voice that criticizes and condemns ourselves and others, by the way. How about you? Have you become afraid to dream and to follow your dreams? Have you become afraid to make a commitment because you believe you will only be disappointed? Do you move through life with a fear that others will not like you or will reject and abandon you? Have you become old in spirit before your time? When the child appears in a position that represents the past, she is asking you to consider these questions and that you acknowledge and heal the emotional and psychological hurts that prevent you from taking delight in life. All too often, we hold on to the painful memories and moments instead of remembering those that were full of love, laughter, and delight. We focus on the moments when we felt the most alone and afraid instead of those when we were surrounded by love and happiness. We see every failure and forget to acknowledge our successes. We We see only what we have not achieved instead of what we have accomplished. Yes, life has offered you moments of pain, hardship, and suffering, moments that failed to meet expectations. It may have broken your heart, stolen both innocence and joy, or silenced your laughter. Has that pain and disappointment silenced the child within you? Or worse still, has it given rise to a wounded ego that has made you harder than is necessary? Don't let past disappointments and personal failures lessen your ability to trust in yourself and others. Do not allow them to make you cynical and skeptical or hard and unyielding. Do you now believe that laughter and play are a waste of precious time that should be invested in more serious pursuits? They are not. To play and to laugh is to live in the moment. The result transports and transforms us and can literally change our state of mind and lift our spirits. Laughter and play bring healing. The child who speaks of your past is asking that you forgive those moments. It is time to take delight once more, to share, to smile, to laugh over the good memories, and to reconnect with those innocent pleasures that give you such joy. The present, joy, and the ability to dream are the gifts the child bestows upon you. It is time to dream and imagine and to believe that anything is possible if you are willing to try. Forgive and forget all past failures and disappointments. Turn mistakes into positive lessons instead of reasons to give up. Be hopeful. The child in the present represents positivity and potential, a new beginning, one that will bring happiness and joy to your life, especially if you are willing to embrace an open mind and heart and put ideas into action. When was the last time you paid attention to your daydreams? Moments when you allowed your imagination to wander away from the mundane. So often, it is in those moments that our minds show us the truth about what we would really like to be doing with our time. Does something prevent you from making your dreams a reality? If so, are the reasons legitimate or founded in doubt and fear that you will not succeed or do not deserve to succeed? Do you dream of a holiday in a distant land? Do you dream of changing careers and doing something that you love? Or does daydreaming reveal a simple desire to reconnect with nature? Whatever your dream, now is the time for you to act. Put doubts and skepticism aside and delight in doing something that you love. Give yourself permission to do what you need to do in order to make those dreams come true. And the future. Look forward and see the wonders of life through the eyes of the child. Allow yourself to feel anticipation and excitement over making plans for the future. Yes, our goals are important, as we all need something to aspire to, but sometimes we need to take a break from serious plans and just have fun. The child in the future reminds you to schedule in some time to play. Arrange to meet up with friends or family and do nothing more than take delight in each other's company. Don't let excuses get in the way of your celebrating life. It can be just as important to make time for yourself. Stop and relax, pet your cat, or take the dog for a walk. Do something you have wanted to do for a long time, but have put off time and time again because something else seemed more important. You were not born to spend your entire adult life working hard in order to pay bills. Make a habit of scheduling in time to let your inner child be the voice that guides you. Be playful, have fun. Potential blockage. Was your childhood so sheltered, happy, and carefree that adulthood fails to meet your expectations? If so, it may be time to learn that life is meant to be full of highs and lows, delights and disappointments, successes and failures, and that you are in part or entirely responsible for all that you experience. parents and friends cannot shelter and protect you from life's disappointments or responsibilities, nor can you depend on others to always be there to help you accomplish your goals. Instead, be a little bit more independent and take responsibility for your choices and actions or lack of them. Be willing to try for yourself rather than playing the role of the forever child and allowing others to make choices and act for you because you are unwilling or afraid to choose. On the other side of the coin, if your childhood was painful and your relationship with your past was or is rife with conflict or discord, the child may appear in the blockage position in order to tell you that it is time to put aside blame and forgive. Do so for no other reason than to set yourself free from the pain and fear that bind you to a moment that cannot be relived. There is a lot with the child, is there not? Okay, so one more time, let's take a look at the beautiful little child, if it will focus. Oh, let's switch this to this, maybe. My camera doing that weird thing again. Okay, there we go. So pure, innocent, connected to nature. Oh, wow. We actually are getting a little bit of breakthrough in this insanity. Oh, my goodness. I'm sure this time lapse would be really interesting. So definitely new beginnings, knowing and believing in your magical essence. The child, the inner child, the divine inner child is the soul essence. And this is why it talked about playing and having fun and laughing because, I'm getting the ringing in my ears. I left you. Whew. All that laughter and joy and play and all that stuff basically is about tapping into the divine inner child, to your soul essence. Because on a soul-based level, I need some tea. 1 second. Like I said, my throat is really irritated today. It's just a way to easily hack into that perfect like innocence and joyfulness that really is our soul, that infinite love energy that because on a soul-based level we're not wounded. Our souls are not wounded. Our souls are perfect and beautiful. They were created perfect and beautiful from the start. And we just have been guided by our parents, Mother, Father, God, to explore and create just the same way that, a regular, human mother, father would have their perfect babies. As babies are perfect. This could be the baby instead of the child. Babies are they're born completely perfect. And that's why we love babies so much, because they're perfect. If we want to see perfection, we look at a baby anything, and that's perfection. And then from there, from birth to death, however long that is, the story shifts and changes. And the bird, the duck, the elephant, the cat, the dog, the human begins to experience life and make choices. Whether it's conscious of it or not, that's what it's doing. And that's the soul experiencing something other than perfection all the time. And being creative with all the things, in all the places, in all the realms, in all the worlds, and all the dimensions, This is just one of them. And the whole thing about dreams that comes up is truly to understand that we are magical. I talked about that. Remember your magic. Remember you're magical. And so is everything else. It's all magical. What in nature isn't mind-blowingly magical? Think about it. What in technology doesn't blow your mind? It's all magical. It's all a dream. It's all meant to be played with and shifted and created within, just like dreams. But this reality gives us the illusion of limits. So we need to remember that we're babies dreaming, and anything is possible, basically. Turn dreams into reality is one of the key phrases. Forgive the past, put doubt aside, time to play and laugh, acknowledge your successes, delight in the moment. Laughter heals, see your potential. This is all to clean up the perception that creates limits on how magical you are. Because when we don't believe in magic, when we aren't laughing, when we aren't dreaming, we're not playing and having a good time, when we're not paying attention to what our successes are, what we have accomplished. And the reason we need to do that is to remind ourselves how we created what we wanted in this dream world. Because the illusion moves us quickly through the perception of time, and we tend to forget very easily. And that's strange too, if you think about it, kind of dreamy. What exactly did happen? All the things 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a week ago, 6 months ago? Yeah, have fun with that. Have fun with remembering the details of any day 6 months ago. You can remember certain things, and we can go back and look at things that were documented to help us. But in our consciousness, we can't do that. Why is that? It's interesting, isn't it? And in this reality, there's all sorts of ways that can pull us further and deeper into the illusion that we're awake in some place very harsh and limiting, and where so many others have control. A lot of people are playing the same game at the same time, moving things this way and that way. There's power struggles. There's the dark. There's the light. We need to remember who and what we are. We're babies. We're Mother, Father, God's babies. Perfect, magical. Experiencing this reality, these lifetimes, these incarnations, always connected to all of our incarnations through our soul. It's one long, big, ongoing book. Each page is a different lifetime, and it's all one story, and it's all part of us. And that book is part of a library of books, and they're all connected to each other's books, and they're all writing in the same stories in the same books, because they're all part of the same family, otherwise known as the Tree of Souls. and all, you know, in a different ring from the very center, from the very seed, which is Mother, Father, God. The closer in on the rings to Mother, Father, God, and the beginning of this family coming together, the obviously longer you've been around, like me, and have been part of more of the stories than those that were on the outer rings. Just like the firstborn to the lastborn kind of thing. And they're all part of each other's stories. And they're all encouraged to live their own life and their own path. And we multiply that out exponentially in a place and dimension like this. We need to see it from that perspective so we can reverse engineer it to us as these people that we are. And do what the past was talking about. We got to let, you know, we have to let things go when we've had issues as, you know, babies, as children, and there were, you know, hurts or neglects or abuses or whatever, disappointments that did make the magic go away because it was harsh and it was confusing. And for a lot of us, that's exactly what it was. Like this whole thing with like, maybe your childhood was just so damn good. Adulthood is extra hard. And most of us do not have that experience. Some people do. I've met a couple of them. I've had a couple of them as clients. But they're far and few between. Most of us have the exact opposite. Like it was ridiculously hard on many levels. Like really? Really? How much more can there be? And it just continued into adulthood. And so a lot of our childhoods, like for me, I couldn't wait to not be a child. I couldn't wait to grow up. I needed to be an adult, like a fucking sap. Like I just spent every day wishing I was older, wishing I was out of my circumstance of being a child and out of control. I tried to run away from home so many times. I was in just sheer hell and misery living with my mother, unfortunately. And that's not to say that we didn't have good times, but she was a narcissist, a puppet master, like to the nth degree, for my to the extreme I am, she was the opposite and polar extreme. There had to be that for it to do what it did. Or else it wouldn't have been what it was. She had to be that fucking extreme. To the point where like literally everybody, there wasn't a single person who met her that didn't go, holy shit, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, you weren't kidding. I'm like, I told you. There's nothing and no one like her, ever. It's that extreme. Oh my God. The stories I could tell of my mother are just mind fucking blowing. And my father being the exact opposite to her, because she was so extreme, so controlling, so power hungry, so manipulative, so toxic, so draining, so self-centered and self-serving and self-righteous and just everything. Just if you were to be like, okay, let's create a robot that's just like, or whatever, a monster, and let's just kick it up to, you know, maximum power on all the options, like, or like an arcade game, or, you know, a video game, whatever. You're just like, dial it up. Let's just see what that makes. That was my mother. And so she completely dominated my father his entire life. It's a very not great story. But I, you know, see the poetic in it, how it had to be what it was. For a very long time, like you can see, I laugh because I've healed it all. I understand it all. I'm not angry about any of it. It is what it is. It's very matter of fact when I explain and express and yeah. I can't believe I'm seeing blue sky right now. Wow. And that's how we need to be. We need to get past however extreme it was, whatever we went through as children, as adolescents with our family life or whatever. We have to see the poetic. We have to see the medicine in it. We have to see why it had to be what it was. And we have to look at it with reverence and be in love with that storyline and not still wounded and trapped by it. Because the more wounded and trapped you are by your beginnings, the more wounded and trapped you are in your present and in your future, period. You have to let it go. You have to move on. You have to see it for exactly how the story needed to be, to unfold, to get you to experience all the things and all the teachings and learnings and wisdoms that you did so you could be who you are. And even if as an adult there was so much pain and suffering as there was for many of us, because not only did we, we had the experiences of our childhood, much of which was dictated by parasitic people and the dark side. As for as hard as our guides and guardians helped us, and they did get through it, or else you wouldn't fucking be here, period. So don't get it confused that you didn't have help and you weren't guided, because you wouldn't be here if you, listening to me for sure, if you weren't guided and protected. But that doesn't mean that they pick you up and they take you over all the stuff that you need to go through to have your particular storyline, to make the choice. Nobody's forcing your choices and your decisions. That's your responsibility from the moment you begin to be an alive human being as a baby. Whatever is in you is what's driving you, are your choices to cry, to sleep, to eat or not, to whatever. You are autonomous. You are you experiencing your life from your perspective. We see that in babies. And I mean, you have to really, they're not like void of their autonomy and their choices. They just can't like fend for themselves, but that doesn't mean that they're not making choices. All of life is about making choices. Every little teeny tiny choice creates our reality, creates our future. Every thought creates our reality, creates our future, because every thought creates our choices, creates our perception, creates our intention, creates our attention. Where do we choose to put our attention, our intention? Well, there we go. And if we're busy being hurt by our past, then we're miserable in our future and in our present. Because all we're doing is churning the same shit in the same fucking pot, and nothing is changing except you're just getting older and circumstances shift because you're moving through your life, but it's all the same in one way or another, if that's the case. And we see that with people. Hopefully you've gotten past that. Or you're ready to. You're ready to heal. You're ready to let go. You're ready to move on in a really, really, really real way. To heal yourself. To cut cords of the past. To reset cords in the now. To allow your magic, to allow your full force of your divinity to begin to come through, because you're dumping off the shit that weighs you down from rising and ascending to what will fill you up with the lightest of light and the most love. The child wants us to remember our magic and to know that we, don't forget that child of the past, that we now take responsibility as the spiritually awakening parent, connecting to our soul and going, me as the adult, now I'm going to parent myself and my inner child, my divine inner child, the creator, the soul. I'm going to take responsibility and do it right for me from this moment on, from this point forward. I'm going to be the parent to me that I didn't have, the mother and the father. I'm going to be both to me in a balanced way, in a nurturing, loving way. The way I didn't have. I can do that. I can take care of me in that way. I can parent me in that way. I can be open to the guides and guardians who want to help me do that, so I can activate myself to be as maximized me at any given point as I could possibly be. No, I take full responsibility for me on all levels and all layers from this point forward, so I can live the life I'm meant to live, which is a dreamy life, a dreamy existence, because I understand how to work with energy and with thought and with intention and with my guides and guardians and with all the beautiful cosmic and galactic and divine energies that are afforded to me as a divine incarnate. I just need to continue to clear and connect and heal and create and collaborate and join forces with my soul family. I need to step through. I need to say yes to the opportunities to expand. I need to say no to excuses to remain where I am and take longer to change and evolve than I really needed to take. Like, enough of that. No matter how old you are, 15, 25, 45, 55, 65, 75, like, enough. Like, whatever age you are that you're coming to this, it's been long enough. Like, let's turn the page and start a new way of being, a new way of experiencing yourself in your life and your body and your energy and your mentality and your emotionality. Let's completely rewrite the system and get it to where it was always meant to be, starting now. That's what the child wants for us. To play on your terms. To dream on your terms. For what's right for you and your soul. Okay, so I was guided to get the Crystal Bible book. Look at how pretty it's getting, you guys. This is quite the video. The Crystal Bible book. These are little babies, but it's a fat baby. um, did I touch that? There we go. Is that better? That's gotten really pretty. Okay. Lovely. So I got the Crystal Bibles, guided to grab it and spin it around with my eyes closed and go this way and that way and find a page and find a crystal, be guided to a page in a crystal. To connect to. So I'm opening and flipping. Okay, here we are. Ooh, I'm not familiar with this. It's called Tektite. Isn't that neat? Black or dark brown, green. Oh, moldavite. Appearance small, glassy, densely translucent. Because Tektite is a meteorite, it is quite rare but available from specialist shops. Middle and Far East, Philippines, Polynesia, can occur worldwide. Because of its extraterrestrial origin, Tektite is believed to enhance communication with other worlds and to encourage spiritual growth through absorption and retention of higher knowledge. It forms a link between the creative energy and matter. Tektite helps you to release undesirable experiences, remembering lessons learned, and concentrating on those things that are conducive to spiritual growth. It takes you deep into the heart of a matter, promoting insight into the true cause and necessary action. Placed on the chakras, Tektite balances the energy flow and may reverse a chakra that is spinning the wrong way. Helpful for telepathy and clairvoyance. If Tektite is placed on the third eye, it opens communication with other dimensions. The stone strengthens the biomagnetic sheath around the body. Traditionally, Tektites have been worn as talismans for fertility on all levels. The stone balances male-female energies within the personality. Healing. Tektite reduces fevers, aids the capillaries and circulation. It prevents the transmission of diseases. Certain type of Tektites have been used for psychic surgery. Position, place or hold as appropriate. Also see moldavite. That's what most people would know. It's beautiful and green. What did it say? 187? Yeah. So Tektite is just the brown or black version of the green version of moldavite. Definitely easier to get, seems like, than Tektite. But the thing to know about these and any other crystal, do you see the face there? You see that big face? You see that big face? Looks like, to me, it looks like a cat face. I see a cat face there. So with this and any crystal is that all you need to do is look at the crystal, start meditating on the crystal, ask to be connected to the crystalline energy of that particular crystal through the abundance matrix within Gaia, which is her crystalline abundance matrix. And you can work with any crystal on any part of the body or as a whole. We do this a lot with diamonds. I have mentioned that before. And you can make them as big as you want to make them, or just tap into that energy and let that feel that energy in whatever chakra, or like I said, like, if you want it for your third eye or whatever. See it and feel it actually on you. Connect to it within Gaia. Let the actual essence and the energy come to you. And you will be working with that crystal. So you don't actually have to have it with you. Okay. And with that said, I am going to bid you all adieu. Thank you for being with me here today, whenever it is that you are watching this video. This was really, these messages are really good for those of you who are feeling much more compelled to, really move forward with yourself. And we need to go back to the beginning. Oh, Anna being guided to, this came through earlier, but I was saying something else. I do have a really wonderful spirit walk that I channeled a couple years ago on my website with all the channel. There's 5 channeled spirit walks on there. And I'll put the link in the description, and they're free and you can download them. But there is one specifically for rebirthing the divine inner child. And I highly suggest that you do it. Chances are that you're going to go really deep and may come out of that not remembering much, or thinking that you fell asleep, but also waking up right at the end, which means you weren't actually asleep. You just were so deep your consciousness doesn't remember. This is one that people have to do multiple times usually to get through it consciously, because you really do need to get through it consciously and remember as much of it as possible. You're really guided to either record yourself afterwards as soon as you can, or write journal, because it's just to help solidify it. And you are guided to not do it just once very consciously, but do it multiple times, like at least 2 times, if not 3 times, to really get through this and help you reset and reconnect with yourself and your divine inner child, the creator, your soul. It'll help your soul connection so much. So I highly suggest that you do that. You can do that really at any time of the day. Just before you go to sleep at night, just remember what you did with this spirit walk earlier and kind of take yourself through that before you drift off. But it can be an early day spirit walk meditation. And I don't think it's that much longer than like a half an hour. So I hope that you make time for that. I'm so glad that you're with me here today. Again, happy Monday if you're watching this on this Monday. If you're seeing this at any other time, I'm glad you were guided to these messages. You're watching this when it was meant for you. And with that, I bid you adieu until next time, till tomorrow, for my daily. Bye for now.